Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 40 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking in everything surrounding sports. This week, more on the NHL and NBA playoffs, a little NFL draft announcement, and some MLB news to keep us going here this week. But let's jump in and introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Ace, let's start off with you this week. Nice to have you back for another week. What do you got for us, sir?
Yeah, excited to get going on another week here. None of my teams are left in the hockey world, but I have one in the basketball world, so that's pretty cool to see. MLB in full swing. It's starting to heat up here on the East Coast too, so I'm starting to feel those baseball vibes. But yeah, ready to get going another week here. Happy to get going with the boys. Missed out last week, but here we go, ready to roll.
Awesome, good stuff there. Huff, let's head over to you next. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, not much going on with me. Like you said, NBA Finals, Celtics locked that up in a sweep. We'll get into that in a little bit. Minnesota forces a Game 5. I've been absolutely tapped into that series. That's been a great close games every game so far. 3-1. The series doesn't show it, but that's been some great basketball to watch. Mackey's Rangers in a tight 2-2 series. Sports are in a great spot right now. Just trying to cherish it until baseball's the only thing on.
Good stuff. Excited for this week yet again. Mackie, let's finish it off with you here before we jump into this week here. Episode 40.
Yeah, playoffs are kind of getting down to the wire here. Obviously, the Rangers are in a tight series over there. Both NHL series are really good right now. Can't say the same about the NBA, even though maybe those Timberwolves can make a push. You never know. But sitting at 3-1 right now, not looking too good. But yeah, Rangers really getting in the full swing of things. This playoff series is one you're gonna want to watch. So we can dive into that in a little.
Yeah, Mackie, your Rangers are just fun to watch. Lots of good stuff there out of the NHL, like you said. And we'll make sure to get more into that here shortly. Starting off with this episode here, we want to get into a starting segment. Curious what your guys' baseball walk-up song as a hitter or closer can be. Maybe your top three. Anybody have any
This is
insight
tough.
on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is tough.
Let me get going first. I posed this one here. I thought this was a pretty cool one. I was on Instagram. I don't know if you guys see that guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he's up on the field every day with like the whole team. He runs through random stuff like name me the lineup from your first MLB debut or your first win, or give me your walk up song, stuff like that, or your craziest story. So I heard some of them and I was like, oh, I wonder what mine would be. So I went through the list a good bit, but I'm not gonna pick a country one because I'm not a country guy, but say I played for a team that was huge into the country music realm, I would have done Here and Now by Kenny Chesney. I feel like that would be a pretty cool one. But moving into my honorable mention, that would be the fourth one here. And if you were good like Bryce Harper, you can have like 3 or 4 songs, swap them out once a week if you really want to, if you're getting paid that big money. And if I was getting paid the big money to have 4 songs, I'd have 21 Savage's bank account on there. That's my fourth honorable mention there. But now my top 3 of what I actually have. If I was a closer like Edwin Diaz, someone cool, I'd have Kickstart My Heart. I think that would be sick. Get the stadium amped up to come in and shut the door to win that game. At number 2, this would be if I was hitting in the current today with a nice rap song. I go with Superhero by Metro Boomin in Future. I think that would be a great one. And then number 1, I go with Kendrick Lamar's Humble, just because that would get the stadium nuts as well. That would be my top 3. I think those 3 would be pretty electric, no matter where I played.
I don't know if I have a lit like I've definitely this is something I wish I would have thought about, but I'm gonna maybe go. I don't even know if I have a list. I'm just basing it off like I was trying to think of the cool entrances or cool walk up songs that I can like are memorable to me, at least from recent. And the one that stands out is it uh Bryson Stott, the walk up in Philly where the bases were loaded in the
A-OK.
playoffs? Yeah.
That
That's
was
definitely
fire. That was
that video is
fire.
like that will give you goosebumps the whole way down your
The
back. That video
entire
is sick.
Well, that was also the scenario. The entire place is singing his song, and first pitch, he just hits a bomb. Ace, you're muted.
Yeah, better one would be the Shane Victorino 3 Little Birds. Everything's gonna be all right with the Red Sox when he hit that grand slam against the Tigers in the ALCS. I mean, something like that. But I think the scenario, like Mackie was saying, really plays into it more.
Yeah, it's all the scenario. You would just have to do something that people are gonna play along to. Like that's why that makes that video so good. Like that song isn't great. It just makes it because the entire stadium is singing it, and then bang, fucking grand slam home run. I think it made it like 7-0 Phillies at the time.
No, dude, I think it was like a tie game or something. I think it was like a crucial hit home run.
Was it?
I'm like 99% sure it was crucial.
Let me see. I'm looking it up.
Look it up. I'll get into
Use
mine. So I only have two, but for one of them, it's strictly for the Yankees. "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra. If anybody watches the Yankees, you know all about Frank Sinatra and the Yankees.
That's a good one.
But for my other one, I would just do "Cinderella" by Future and Metro Boomin and all of them. But that song just goes hard. Imagine walking up to the plate listening to that.
Any Metro Boomin beat you can get crazy too.
That's what I'm saying.
Walking
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
I was thinking "Many Men" even too by 21 Savage.
I was gonna say that. I didn't want to.
Mackie, I was gonna do this one, but I'm not a Yankees guy. "Hard Knock Life" would be electric to come out too by Jay-Z.
That's also dope. Yeah, Jay-Z is also dope for any New York
Biggie,
team.
like come on, Biggie.
It was
like
3-0
Juicy.
Phillies when he hit it.
It was?
Yeah.
Damn. Thought it was cooler than that.
And nobody went with the Timmy trumpet.
I was thinking it. I was thinking Mackie would
have.
have to say it, but he's giving us Yankees stuff, so I don't really know what's going on.
Fuck Edwin Diaz, dude. He just got hurt again.
Yeah, but that was electric when he was like.
It was
in his
electric.
prime.
Yeah, and then he wants to celebrate in the World Baseball Classic and tear his ACL and ruin our entire season last year. And then this year he comes back, shits the bed, and gets injured again. So I don't really like Edwin Diaz anymore.
Yeah, his brother's better than him, anyways.
The other I don't know if you'd say hot take, but that people don't really sing along to them much is like when all the foreign guys come up and they're just playing like some Hispanic club music. Like...
Pepas.
Peep
this going. That'd be a good one. Yeah, you get some EDM too. But I think if you were playing in some big country places, though, you gotta have a country song on there. That's why I went with the Kenny Chesney one. Here and now, yeah, it'd be a banger.
You would have. No, I agree.
Oh boy! All righty, lots of good stuff there, boys. To look forward to here. Coming up with some of the notable dates we have. 4th of July, just over a month away. Following that, in the month of July, we have the 2024 MLB Draft on the 14th of July, the Home Run Derby on the 15th, and the All-Star Game on the 16th there for the MLB. So make sure to tune in as we will have lots of content on that as we gear closer
Maybe
to that.
even a contest for that Derby.
I hate all the MLB drafts in the middle of the season.
They just have a crazy week, though. It's the MLB All-Star Game's on a Tuesday this year, which is wild to me, but they have something going on from like Thursday through Tuesday of that week, so that'll be actually a pretty fun time in the summer.
Well, Huff, it's all lined up with the college. So, I mean, whenever college ends,
the season.
but it has nothing to do with the actual professional season. Yeah.
It's just so weird when those guys that like, I don't know. It's like you get called up and your team's already like, we're good or bad that year. You know what I mean? Like
you can get called. You can get called up that same year.
No. I'm saying like you get drafted. Like say I get drafted this year. I'm like, all right, cool. I got drafted to Miami. Sick. We fucking already suck. Like at least going into the year, it's like you have the idea that you're not going to be a good team, but it's like sick. You already got there and we have fucking 9.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know
like
what you're saying, yeah.
I know those guys go straight to AA, AAA, single A. Like they go straight to the system. They don't even go.
It is pretty cool though when you get someone drafted and then there's the futures game like the next day or something like that though.
Yeah.
So it'll be a fun week.
Mackie, Mets are going to win this game.
Yeah, there was a sharp play today, but I mean, Dodgers. I mean, how can you miss out on that value? Also,
I didn't even look.
Peterson, his first game back.
Is that David Peterson guy?
Yeah, it was his first game back. He's pretty good, and Paxton was 5-0 this year. That's why it was kind
you
of.
You got Peterson, Miguel, and Quintana all going back. The vets are shoving for you.
Severino.
Doesn't matter. Our bullpen, dude. It's actually incredible how bad our bullpen is. It's like record numbers. So if the Dodgers are within 2 going into the 8th inning, they're fine.
All right, Dodgers got out of it. 3-3 going to the 6th. We'll keep going. My bad.
Yeah, why don't we keep on the MLB track here, starting out with the power rankings here. Coming in at number 5, the Cleveland Guardians. Number 4, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 3, the Baltimore Orioles. Number 2, the New York Yankees. And number 1, the Philadelphia Phillies. I missed the New York Rangers. What are we thinking here about the power rankings here coming this week here, May 31st?
Yeah, Mackie, I think I saw this last week when you guys were doing the power rankings when I was away. I tried to throw the Royals in there this week. I think you tried to throw them in there last week. We need to get some justification for the Kansas City Royals because what they're doing this year is pretty crazy, but you can't really put them atop of the other teams. I don't really want to put the Guards in there, but their record's so good. I know they're in the worst division, battled injuries, but they keep winning baseball games. So
they keep going on crazy stretches too.
Dude.
Like they're 9-1 in their last 10 again.
They have a top 3. They have a top 3 record in the league, and they're 9-1 in their last 10. You just have to respect this team and put them in the top 5 right now.
But how happy would any of the other 4 in the top 5 be to see that team in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, of course. That's what I was about to get to. I don't think this team. I don't think this team is going to be there towards the end of the season. They're probably going to win that weak division. I think the Royals will also fall off, but I mean, you got to respect the
Yankees
team
would
right
be-
now.
You see the
Drooling
Twins heating
to
up
see
though.
the
The Twins
Guardians.
aren't in our power rankings, but I think they've won like 6 in a row, something like that. The Twins are on a nice little streak, at least maybe 8 of 10, some weird stat like that. Twins have been playing good baseball. They probably have the most star power in that division, but Guardians continuously just breed young pitching that come in, even though they've lost Bieber, even though they've lost whoever. Jose Ramirez is loving playing in Colorado right now. Guy's hitting a home run every night. Does he lead the league now? I mean, it's just crazy to see what they're doing. But the rest of the big dogs up there, it's who we expect: Yankees, Dodgers.
Let me ask you this.
Yankees and Phils are playing really good baseball.
Yeah, this is about the Yankees. So their current, what do you think their current win total line is set at?
108.
They're 37 and 19? 19.
What'd you say? 108?
It's over 100, right?
Yeah, it's probably right around 100. I'd say 101.5.
It's 99 and a half.
Oh.
I think they
Dude,
go over that.
108 wins is
Yeah, that'd be
insane.
crazy. Yeah, I know. I was just throwing a stupid number out there, but I figured it'd be over 100 for sure.
It's at 99 and a half, but the over is minus 122.
I
Kinda
think they
love
get
that.
100 wins this year. But I mean, it's the
There's-
Yankees. You could
There's
see them hit
100. There's 106 games left, and let's see, to get 100 wins, 100 minus 37, they would need 63 more wins.
Huff, do you have their
116.
divisional record up right now? Because that's what seems pretty important to me.
Let me see. Well, that's the toughest division in baseball.
No, I know, but you got to think like Orioles, Blue Jays starting to heat up a little bit. Red Sox over 500. I mean, they're not slouches.
First division. Let's see.
They're not an easy game, but it's not. Yeah, they're doing better than anyone expected. I'll tell you
First
that.
the AL.
Mm.
Yeah, no, the Yankees aren't that great. It looks like, is this the AL East? That would be. Yeah, 8-8 for the AL East.
So maybe it's the
So it's
the
terrible.
Orioles.
Your
right?
division,
They're
your
tearing apart
division
the rest
literally
of the
just
league.
chews everyone apart. Like they just chew each other apart. They're like the AFC North. Yankees 8-8, Red Sox 5-7, Rays 9-11, Toronto 7-8 in the division, and the Orioles are the only team over 500 in the division at 8-3.
Damn, Orioles are playing good baseball in that division.
And they're all just eating on the NL Central. Actually, no, just the Yankees and Orioles are eating on the AL Central.
Dude, that division is just great, though. I mean, you could see I know that the Blue Jays are 4 games under 500. They're in tank mode. Sell Bichette, sell Vladdy. But couldn't you even see that team get hot and make a wild card push, too? I mean, everybody in that team, in that division is good.
I'd take Vladdy. I made a graphic today that I saw like the top 10 landing spots for Vladdy, and I was gonna send it to you guys, and I just photoshopped the Pirates at number 1. I'm gonna send it to you now that we're talking about it.
Oh, God. I don't
Here's the original one, and then the one that I made. It looks pretty identical.
brutal. But no,
I was gonna send it to you guys and just see what you.
do you guys think the Blue Jays actually trade Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? I do not.
I don't. I think they'd keep Bichette before Vladdy, though.
Yeah, I
I
agree
think-
with that, too.
I think it's going to matter how the rest of their season goes before the trade deadline. I mean, there's 4 games under 500 and they're only 5 games out of a playoff.
And their
spot right
pitching
now.
staff is good. Like Barrios and Gausman are great. Manoah's kind of turning the corner and coming back to what he once was. I know he had a bad start last time, but I mean, they have a lot of names on that team. It's still early in the season, in my opinion. Maybe if they can get around 500 by the All-Star break, they will get out of
They
some
are
mode.
around 500 right now. They're only 4
There's some
games under.
Yeah, but they're last in the division. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
it's all about that
It
division.
looks so bad, but you put
Yeah.
them. I mean, you put them in the AL West, and they're sitting in 3rd place right now, 4 games out of 1st place.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's all like
And we're having a different
coincidental, but-
conversation.
Yeah, that's
All right,
a good point.
off topic. Huff. Caleb Love heading back to Arizona. What the fuck?
What is this? His 5th year of college?
I thought he was going to be one and done in North Carolina.
Does he really want to
He's
win
making-
that bad?
He's probably making so much money. He knows he's not going to get drafted or going to
Yeah.
be like a late draft pick kind of thing.
He'll make more money in college and have a chance at a national championship and to rise his stock. I mean, it's not a bad play.
In this day and age, I'd probably do the same thing, especially if you're like the best player on your team.
Yeah.
And you're making X amount of money. Like, if you're gonna be a 1st round pick, you have to go.
It all depends on your draft pick.
Because
Well, if you're going to be a first round pick this year, you're going to be a first round pick next year too.
well, obviously,
It all
injury and
depends
that
on a
stuff,
lot.
but, like, yeah. I don't know. It also depends. Like the NBA is different because there's only 2 rounds. So it's like if you're not a 1st rounder, there's a good chance you don't get drafted.
Yeah.
Unless you know you're
It's
like
so hard to
fringe
predict
first
like
rounder.
31 through 62.
Yeah, they pull guys from Slovenia. Like all the Jokic was in the late 2nd round. Like they find all these gems in the late 2nd round. And a lot of guys go undrafted. Like they just signed 10 days.
Yeah.
Like me in my career. I didn't
Yeah,
get drafted.
Then you're
Hey.
working your ass off.
Back to the MLB real quick. Want to know something that's crazy? I kind of lose us to our next point here too. Braves not on this list. I mean, they're free falling. Phillies.
You lose your best player.
I think
dude.
we're
Best pitcher and
overreacting.
hitter.
on Acuna.
They're seizing the opportunity. I mean, the Phillies are seizing the opportunity. That division's wide open. You lost Ozuna. I mean, you lost Acuna and you lost Strider. The only one that's hitting is Ozuna. Olsen looks like a shell of himself. A few of the other guys do too. I don't believe this
Riley's
team.
been good.
He hasn't been that good compared to his last season though.
You
Him
can
and
just tell something's off with that team right now.
yeah, they're
And then
slouching.
you get these two
They'll be
injuries. It's
there.
like,
They'll be there. I think we're just kind of overlooking them right now because you have to put the Guardians in. And
Will
then the
they
other
be
four.
there though? Is that lineup scary? Without look at their outfield now. You have Adam Duvall and Jared Kelenic as their replacement. They've got to go out and get somebody else. Is it going to be Esteury Ruiz? Is it going to be Tommy Pham?
that's who they should go get is Ruiz off the A's.
I'd go
him
get
out of that
Tommy. I'd go
Free
get Tommy
situation.
Pham off the White Sox. He's hitting really well right now in that one spot for the White Sox in their order. You can get him probably pretty cheap too. There's a lot of names out there that you could go out there and swing for, but do they even? Is it even worthwhile? Are they going to push this year without their ace and without their best player in the league?
Last time they didn't have Acuna, they won the World Series. That's the craziest part.
Hmm.
It was a different team though. You had
Different
Freeman.
team, much more depth. Much more depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys alluded to it. Ronald Acuna Jr. has officially been ruled out for the remainder of the season with a torn ACL. Acuna now has torn his ACL on both his knees in the past 5 seasons. Are the Braves as much of a threat without Strider and Acuna for the remainder of this season?
No.
Yeah, they are.
As
They're a
much
threat.
of a threat?
They're still no, not as much. Definitely not. Oh, okay, never mind. Not as much of a threat, but they're still a top 5 team in the league.
I don't know. I don't think they're a top 5 team in the league anymore.
I think you're overreacting to the max right now.
I also bought in on. You saw this last year during their World Series run, even though they didn't win it. But I bought in on those Phillies heavily. I think the Phillies are a great team, and the best is yet to come. And that's a team that I know is going to buy at the deadline. Trey Turner's not even playing, and they're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Acuna's just my favorite player, so I immediately am going to overreact from this. I obviously think he's one of the better, if not the best player in baseball. He's right there. But a 40 home run, 70 bag guy, and you lose that going into this year. He wasn't having his best year this year. Braves are a deep team. They have a lot of depth. It's just, you look back at like we said, the last time they didn't have him, they won the World Series. That team had a lot more depth than this one does. They're calling up a lot of young pitching that they haven't seen yet. It's obviously they could get a couple hot arms. One or two of those guys come up and light things up. Next thing you know, Braves are right back. They find a replacement for Strider, Ace, like you said. If they go get I'd like that fit for Ruiz, especially for my fantasy team, because I just lost Acuna for the year, and I have Esteury Ruiz. I'd love him to go to Atlanta. That'd be a great fit. You replace not the home runs, but maybe at least the stolen bags.
Yeah, I think they might get more of a power bat, though. We'll have to see. I think they're going to have to make a couple moves. Mackey's probably right. I shouldn't overreact that much. NL's kind of weak, too, depth-wise. Do I think they could still push for a wild card spot? Yes. But do I think that the Phillies have that division on lock now? Yes.
I think they could.
If you didn't already.
I think the Braves would beat any team that's going to win the NL Central.
Yeah, that's what I was. Huff, I almost said that. Like, take away
They're
the
the
top
third-
seed, whoever it is. Who else?
They're
Who?
the 3rd best team in the NL.
Yeah, but it's
Like,
gonna
no question at all.
But they've lost Spencer Strider.
Right
and
now it goes
Ronald
Phillies,
Acuna.
Dodgers, Braves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I
Yeah.
think they can push for a wild card spot, but will the longevity hold up? I don't know. Their top bats in their lineup now are cold. The only one that's hitting is Ozuna.
And if they
That's
hit a
crazy, 'cause
if they
they're
hit a
still-
cold streak, though, they could sell and just
They're-
fuck it. We'll wait till next year.
They're
That's what I'm
basically on a
thinking, too.
cold streak right now, and they're 10 games over 500. They have one guy batting over 300. That's not going to keep up with that lineup. That lineup is stacked even without Acuna. It doesn't matter.
You
They have,
think
like-
so? I don't know. That lineup's kind of light. You looked at it last night. That lineup's
Oh my
light.
God, no way. That Michael Harris, Matt
Yeah,
Olson, Ronald
Olson's
Ozuna,
been
Acuna,
brutal.
Garcia, Ozuna, exactly. But these are guys that are not going to be brutal all season. Ozuna,
going to be
Albies, Austin Riley, like this lineup is
Riley
crazy,
Albies, and Olsen got to turn around quick because they've been cold to start the year, and it's a little bit past that.
Olson's batting 232.
That's horrible.
that's cool
Exactly.
for
He's
him.
not going to keep that up. He's just
It's
simply not
It's
gonna do it.
tougher though without lineup protection like Ronald Acuna though.
Yeah, but I just named off 7 players in the lineup that can all bat over 300. They all did last year.
Yeah, I know. Last year, that's what I'm saying. They need at least one of them to return to form. Do I think any of them do? Maybe Olsen gets his home run and RBI count up. The average isn't going to go up that much. I don't think Albies gets going. I think that was an outlier last year. I think he had his best season last year that he's ever going to have in the MLB. That 20-plus home run year, you're not seeing that again from him. And I think Austin Riley, I think he's going to be on the decline too. His best days are behind him, personally, in my opinion.
I think Olsen would be the one to get going, if not Riley.
Need him to. But
One of those power guys got to step up now.
yeah, it's just because it can't just be Ozuna. You need a few bats if you want to make some noise. But they'll push for a wild card. Mackey's right. The NL is weak, but I think that's the Phillies division now for sure. Lock it in now. Find the price. Buy it. Lock
They're probably
it.
minus. They got to be.
Lower.
They're probably already minus, like a decent minus.
I wouldn't go decent. They're only 5 games ahead of the Braves right now.
I just feel like that.
I'd say maximum
Let's see.
minus 200.
Let's see. Hold on. Divisions. What is that? NL East. Minus 200 for the Phillies.
Yeah, it's a good line.
I see minus 145.
I was on
Bookshop.
Braves minus plus 115.
Bookshop. Wait a little bit longer. Wait till the Midsummer Classic though, but maybe you'll miss your chance by then.
Plus 165 for
Well,
Atlanta.
yeah, because it's obviously a two-team race.
Yeah.
It's just going to be.
Yeah.
It depends. Do you think the Braves are going to heat up a little bit, or you think they're going to slow down more? I think they slow down, so maybe now is the time to buy if you can find that minus 145. If you're like Mackey, though, and you think they can stick around and some of those bats get going and the depth gets going and the depth of pitching behind Strider can stay relevant, maybe you buy in on that plus 115 now before it gets too late.
Lots of good stuff there, boys. A little stat here for the MLB. Anthony Volpe's 20-game hit streak is the longest for a Yankee since 2012. Jeremiah Estrada became the first pitcher to strike out 13 straight batters. And Luis Arraez hit .472 this past week. So lots of good stuff coming out of the MLB. Ace, what do you have on that?
I mean, I don't know if you guys, which one do you think is the craziest stat? To me, it's got to be that Estrada stat. I don't know if you've seen it all over social media lately for the Padres. He's jumped on the scene, striking out 13 guys in a row. That's pretty nice accolade to have.
That's
I know
it's insane.
he's in a lower leverage role though, so maybe that makes it a little bit easier. But and maybe we should look into who he was doing it against because I know they're playing the Marlins of late. But still a crazy stat nonetheless.
Nice to see the young guy over in New York doing well too.
Also, Luis Arraez. Oh, Volpe. Yeah, I mean he's a bona fide stud. I mean, especially we're talking about lineup.
He's a fan favorite there too.
We're talking about lineup protection though.
Yeah.
Who has more lineup protection than Anthony Volpe too? You know, I mean, come on. But Luis Arraez, happy he got out of Miami, even though I'm a Marlins guy. He's going to succeed there in San Diego, especially with X-Man on the shelf right now.
Didn't he? I saw a stat he had 16 hits and so many.
Yeah, because he had that double header where he had like 7 hits or something like that.
That just kind of juiced it.
Yeah. Craziness.
Alrighty, and continuing on here, a little plus for the league. Negro League records now added to the MLB history books. Josh Gibson's stellar career now highlights many prolific leaderboards here with that. Ace, do you have anything more on that?
I don't know if you guys saw that. I thought it was just kind of crazy. So they finally allowed the Negro League stats into the rankings of a lot of these high stat categories. And
is anything compare?
Josh Gibson's way higher than everybody in a few.
Really?
Yeah. OPS. I forget some of the average. No, Mac, I know what you're going to say because they were playing against lesser competition.
Dude, every single person on those lists haven't played since 1970. Like, every single person.
70?
Billy Hamilton's on the average list or on base percentage list. He's like number 3 all time. Billy Hamilton.
Insane. Like, every single person was like people I didn't even like know who they were, except unless they were like Ty Cobb. Like
Ted Williams, Babe Ruth.
They need to make stats from like 1990 and up. Like it's like insane.
Steroids on.
Yeah, it's saying they announced Wednesday they incorporated stats from more than 2,300 Negro League players from 1920 to 1948.
I think it is cool to see though. I like having all the stats compiled into one so we can get a true look at it. And you know how good he was in his career. I mean, you hear about all the stories of him, so I think that's rightfully so. About time that happened.
I did see this on ESPN. I don't really have an opinion on it, but yeah, good for them.
Alrighty, and last thing here for the MLB, some rookie pitchers that are making some noise here in the league. Paul Skeens, Ben Brown, Luis Gill, Mason Miller, Shada Imanga. I can't say that. Imanga. Jared Jones. What are you guys thinking about these? Paul Skeens here out of Pittsburgh. Huff, you got anything on him? You go to any of his games?
Jones has been well too. He got lit up today, but other than
Jones got lit up earlier today, and then
game.
Skeens cleaned things up with a nice little outing. I don't know how many innings he went. I was just trying to pull it up and look how many.
I
he
got
ended
to
up
see that
going.
guy Lewis Gilshove the other day in New York about a week or two ago, and
He's a dog too.
I think he had like 14 Ks, and he's just playing great baseball. Ben Brown, I think he threw 7 no-hit innings yesterday for the Cubs, and then Imanaga, he's going to be an all-star. He's leading that Cubs staff. He's been insane. We knew
Dude,
he
he's
was
got
going
a
to be.
0.84 ERA.
We knew he was going to be great coming in, though. He was supposed to be this good. He was supposed to be what Yamamoto is, I guess. But
I don't know, dude. 0.84 ERA, 53 innings into the season is insane.
yeah. So I'd
5-0.
love to
Is
see
that
that.
Imanaga?
It's
Yeah.
untouchable.
How many of these guys make the All-Star game? You think? I think Gil might actually.
Gil and Imanaga, I think, are locks.
Maybe Skeens?
Came on the
Maybe
scene too
Skeens?
late, but I mean, I think he hasn't had a bad outing yet, so
Fan vote.
I don't know how that works. I'm gonna go 3.
Yeah, I'll go 3. I'll go 3 as well. Next week,
Skeens
maybe we'll highlight some rookie hitters for you next week. Just wanted to give a shout out to some of these rookie dealers who are shoving right now to start the season off.
Skeens went 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts.
Oh, Mason Miller is going to be in the All-Star game too, Mackie. Book that 100% from the Oakland A's. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if he's going to be on the A's to come this time when we talk about the All-Star game.
He's like the biggest trade bait I would keep hearing about.
Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to be a starter last year. He threw over 100, but those guys with throw over 100 they always got hurt. He got hurt last year. They're like, all right, how are we going to manage it? Let's put him in the pen. Now he's a dominant closer. Throws 1 of 3. So
Good way to get paid.
And that A's team turned around a little bit. Still not a powerhouse or anything like that, but at least they're not. At least they're valid.
I agree.
Alrighty, lots of good stuff there out of the MLB to keep us rolling through this week's episode. Let's jump over to the NFL here. Starting out, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home to myself and Huff, has been selected to host the 2026 NFL Draft. This will be held at Point State Park in Acrisure Stadium. Any comments on that? Will Hit the Books be making an appearance at the draft? What do we think?
You tell us. Will Hit the Books be making an appearance?
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. At least probably only for the first round. I can't be one of those people that's like in the crowd for the fucking Saturday. You know what I mean? Like round 3 through 7. Yeah, you can count me out for that. First round, I'll definitely be there. That'll be sweet. There's been rumors of this for the past couple of years. And now that they're starting to bounce around, I was surprised to see us get it, but I'm definitely happy for it.
Yeah, very excited for that. Going to bring lots of people and business and stuff. They're doing some work on the city to prepare for it. They've already talked about it, so very excited for that draft in Pittsburgh. And coming soon here in our NFL segment, we have positional rankings and some fantasy outlook here coming probably closer to the end of June as we gear up for this NFL season, walking through each position and talking about rankings for
excited for that
players in those positions. Yes.
Did anyone see me like freak out and look at my phone really fast before you said around the end of June? Because I was like, "Fuck, did I miss making a list or something?"
No, we got to get through the playoffs first. NBA, NHL, respectively. They got to take our full attention. But once we get by that and we're in the dog days, we'll dive into the NFL per usual. Get the lowdown on what's going on there.
Alrighty, let's head over to the NHL here. Starting out with the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers. They're tied at 2 games apiece here after the past 3 games have gone to overtime between these teams here. Talking about this on Wednesday. The Rangers won games 2 and 3 in overtime, but Florida was able to even up the series with an OT winner by Sam Reinhart in Game 4. Mackie, how are the Rangers fans feeling with the series shifting back to Madison Square Garden for Game 5 on Thursday?
Yeah, nobody said it would be easy, that's for sure. I think I said Rangers in 7 before the series. Huff said Panthers in 7. I think everyone kind of figured it was going to go 7. Not saying it's definitely going to, but it's kind of gearing up for that.
It's literally a crash course to go 7.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad the spot that we're in. Obviously, we just played 2 in Florida where we completely got outplayed. But what did we have to do on the road? We needed to steal 1 win, and we did it. Igor obviously stood on his head for both those games. But one thing about this series that everyone keeps talking about, how Panthers are dominating. First of all, the first 2 games, they did not dominate. They outshot us by 3 in the first game. We outshot them in the second game. We won the second game in overtime. We just couldn't find the back of the net in the first game. But they dominated at home. They did what they needed to do at home. They actually didn't even do what they needed to do at home because they didn't win both games. But we're going back home. We have 2 out of 3 left at home. I think that we're in a good spot here. And our top 6 forwards, besides Lafreniere, have done absolutely nothing to this point. So we have so much upside where we can keep playing better hockey. And the Panthers, in my opinion, are playing top-notch hockey right now. They're doing the best they're going to do. Maybe Bobrovsky could play a little better, but that's about it. Once these guys, Mika has 0 points in 4 games. Kreider has 0 points in 4 games. Panarin has 3 assists, no goals in 4 games. Those are our 3 best players coming into the playoffs, and none of these guys are doing absolutely anything. We're sitting at a 2-2 spot right now, going back home for Game 5. So I'm not panicking yet. A lot of Rangers fans are panicking because of the way the last 2 games went. But everyone's saying, yeah, this could be a 4-0 series. This could be a sweep by now. If you didn't have Igor, well, guess what? We do have Igor, and he's playing.
I was gonna say, don't apologize for having your fucking best player.
Exactly. Our best player is stepping up the way that he should be, and he's getting us wins. He's the reason we have 2 wins right now, and I think he's going to be the reason that we end up winning the series as well. So, I mean, if these top 6 forwards can stand up or step it up a tiny bit, we're in good shape, and I'm really not worried at all. But Ace, let me hear what you have to say about it.
Ace, let me ask him this question real quick. Is Game 5 a must-win?
No, it's not. It's not. It's a very, very crucial game.
It's a pivotal game for sure.
It's not like if we win, I'll obviously I'm gonna say it's a series deciding win, but I'm not gonna say the Panthers can't come back from that. They get to go home for Game 6 where they've absolutely dominated, and then it's a Game 7 situation. But if we lose, I mean, obviously you're gonna. You're
confident if your backs are against a wall down 3-2, you think you like the Rangers' chance to get a win and force a Game 7.
I'm not gonna say I like their chances because of how bad they've played, but it's definitely not over. It's not even close.
You wouldn't say it's dead. Yeah,
no, it's never. You know, we're all gonna say it's never over till obviously like it's over. Like the NHL playoffs.
But I'm saying like in different situations, I would say it's basically over no matter what. It's not over. This team has so much fight in them, and you guys have seen it all playoffs.
So let me get back in, Mackie. You guys got to be happy that this Huff alluding to my point there that you guys have a home ice advantage for a best of 3 series. 2-2 split, regardless of how things shook out. A lot of overtime wins, too, so you could say a lot of different things. But it's best of 3, heading back to New York. You guys are in a good spot. Have the better goaltender under your belt. The one thing that we do have to expect, we've seen a little bit more as the series goes on, and we know how these Panthers go with their track record, is how feisty and physical they get. We saw the Trouba elbow. We saw a bunch of other things. The Kachuk and Kreider incident last game. That's kind of a funny one, not too serious. But
did you see that?
Yeah. We know
could have got a game for that.
We know Reddit's Rempe's sitting there ready to go, chomping at the bit, swiping the finger like the Dikembe Mutombo. But I think that this chippy Florida Panthers team, I think even their skill guys like to get chippy. I think they're going to start mixing up a bit more. Would like to see how you guys respond to that. I know that the Rangers have built this ever since Tom Wilson kind of beat them into being a tough team, and they have the guys that can answer the bell. But I'm excited for some more of this physicality as the series goes on. I think games 5 through 7 are going to be a lot more contested. Waiting for a bigger number on the score sheet from both sides, but we'll see. They've been hotly contested throughout. Just a great series. I think we all kind of had this one going 7 when we knew it was these 2 top teams from the East.
I think this. I mean, like it kind of sounds like a hockey coach, but it's like I think the first period of Game 5 is huge because like everyone keeps saying the Rangers are getting outplayed. You guys are coming off a loss. I think it's huge for the Rangers to come in. You're at home. Get the first goal in that game. Get the crowd into the game. They're going to be that arena's going to be buzzing. It's Game 5. You win that game. There's a good chance you move on to the Stanley Cup. I think that first period wins a game tomorrow night. I think that's a huge. That's you got to win that period. 1-0 into the first, 2-0 into the first. That's a huge turning point for that game.
You guys just got to stay out of the box too, because that Florida power play has been deadly throughout the playoffs, and they scored again on the power play to win this game last night. Sam Reinhart, there's a reason that he had over 50 goals on the regular season career year, and he's still doing it here in this postseason. There's a bunch of options on every unit for that Florida Panthers team. They're deep. You can't give them too many looks, or else they will make you pay, even though you have Igor Shesterkin in the net. On your other side, it's been nice to see guys like Lafreniere step up into the position. I mean, he was kind of shot on in the early parts of his career, but he's really stepping up now. But Mackie, let me know what you think about that special teams of Florida and what Lafreniere has been able to do so far in this series.
First of all, absolutely holy shit. I've been waiting on this Lafreniere for about 3.5 years, but I don't know if you guys have watched them religiously like I have, but he's the best player on the team right now, no doubt. He's got 7 even strength goals in the season or in the playoffs so far. I think that leads the playoffs right now. But let's get into that power play real quick. I'm pulling this number out of my ass, so don't quote me on it. But I think like 80% of their goals in this playoff or in this series has been on the power play. 2 of them last night were, and the third one was the first one actually.
You're feeling my pain from last series.
It was actually the first goal, which was the other 2 were actually power play goals. The first one was as time is expiring, so it doesn't say power play goal, but it was basically a power play goal. Just stay out of the damn box, and I'm not making this as an excuse because in no way, shape, or form should we have been in the position to win those last 2 games. But I mean, dude, the lopsided calls last game were just
The
absolutely
league
incredible.
loves the
Oh
Panthers.
my
They
god!
really do.
5 seconds left in the game. We had a rush. Mika gets taken down outside of the play. No call. And then
Well, he has 0
Kakko's
points, so
Mackie,
well, that has nothing to do with the
in
call.
in game 4, 2 out of the 3 were power play. In game 3,
But
2 out of their 4 were power play. So 66%.
you're over 50. You're over 50 right here.
And their 1 goal in game 2 was a power play goal.
you guys don't remember
and-
when I said this during the Boston series? Come on.
No power play goals in game 1, Mackie.
The
3-0
Florida
Okay, but there
Panthers are
was
the
only
dirtiest
two.
team, dirtiest, fakest, tough team in the league, but they're like angels
But
in the
they're
ref
so
side.
deep.
Call it both ways, man. Like Lomberg took VZ out of this series with 2 headshots. He wasn't even near the puck, and he hit him out of the play right to the head, both of them. And there's no call there. Like I get it, Trouba's playing dirty, 100%, but he's getting the repercussions for it. The Panthers are not getting repercussions for the dirty plays that they're doing, and they're probably doubling our dirty hits. You just don't see it as much because it's not being brought to the attention of the league. But I mean, call the game fair. At least give us a chance. We got fucked last night by the refs, and obviously the chances were what the chances were. But you got to give us a chance here. I mean, we're playing against the Panthers and the refs right now.
Great series nonetheless, though. Excited to see these final
Huge
three.
game tomorrow.
I think it's
a
going.
huge
It's
game
going
tomorrow.
7. It's going 7.
You don't
Yeah,
want to
I
be
mean,
down
you got
3-2
it.
in this series, though.
Whoever
Especially
loses
going-
game 5, Huff, go take them in game 6.
Dude, I
Good
think the
value on
only
the
way this
Rangers
series
here, too.
goes. I think the only way this series goes 6 is if Florida handles business in the next 2 games. They close it out in 6 at home. But I think it's going to go 7. I said the only way I think it could go 6.
So you don't think the Rangers have a chance of winning game 5 and 6?
They'd have to have a huge.
I
game
agree
5.
with you.
Like,
I agree with you, but I'm
No,
They'd
they're,
have to have a
they're
huge
splitting
game
5
5.
and 6. This is going 7. Don't overthink it.
Mackie, one of those. I'd want to see game 5 like a 4-1 win, like how game 1 was 3-0. Like Shesterkin shutout. Like, okay, holy
hasn't had
shit,
one
what
yet.
happened to the Panthers? Like, you know what I mean?
Both these teams
Yeah.
are too good to lose 2 in a row. I think it's going to have to take game
they
7.
are. I think they are too.
Cats did just lose 2 in a row, but I know.
But I mean, to get knocked out.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Game 5 there for the Panthers and Rangers on Thursday in New York, Madison Square Garden. Lots to look forward to as we get into
Panthers
that.
are favorited, right? What's the line on that?
Minus 125. You can get the Rangers at plus 110 max, which is insane. President's Trophy winners. This is what I'm talking about.
See, like I think it's worth laying juice on. Like, if the Rangers lose, I don't see them losing by more than 1. I think it would go to overtime again, or like be a close game.
Like
What's
you
the plus 1.5? Minus 190.
yeah, it's just ridiculous line. But I mean, you see, I just
plus
think they're
200, minus
overreacting.
1.
I just feel like they're
Minus
overreacting
190.
to the
Actually,
game.
I would actually take that.
Sorry, minus 250.
Ooh, that's a little steep. Anything it's minus 200.
Alrighty, let's move over to this Western Conference series here. Game tonight here on Wednesday, so we could see a 3-1 series or 2-2 tied up series. Dallas Stars currently leading the Edmonton Oilers 2-1 in the Western Conference Final. Dallas overcame a 2-0 deficit in Game 3, scored 3 goals in 3 minutes and 33 seconds to spark their comeback victory. Game 4 tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern in Edmonton. Do we think the Oilers even up the series tonight, or does Dallas take the big series lead 3-1?
Yeah, the series is kind of mimicking the other side. Obviously, Oilers took game 1, Dallas takes game 2 and 3. Kind of expect Oilers to take game 4 tonight, and I think they're going to do it as well. But the goaltending is just, how can you trust the goaltending with Skinner and net? He's giving up goals left and right. He gives up leads left and right. The other thing that nobody's really talking about, Draisaitl has 1 point in 3 games, and I said this on the Instagram post that I did. He's not even playing bad hockey. I think Ottinger just has his number, but he's just not producing the way that he did in the regular season. I think he had 150 points in the regular season. So I mean, you don't like to see a guy like that only have 1 point in 3 games in a crucial playoff series, but you got to assume he's going to pick it up sooner or later.
I was surprised to see the Oilers lose that last game personally. The way they came out in that first period, McDavid looked like he was on a mission to take a 2-1 series lead in that game, not lose game 3 at home. You go out, he rips that first one on net. Hyman's where he always is, down in the shit in the paint. I mean, gets tipped right off his hip. He gets a first goal. McDavid goes right back out. Got the second goal, if I'm not correct, right?
Yeah, he did. He got the second one.
Like I was so shocked. And then Dallas went on that run where they made it 2-1. They made it 2-2. I'm like, I literally was sitting in my basement watching the game. I'm like, here comes 3-2 Dallas. Literally a minute later, bang, 3-2 Dallas. I'm like, yep, this game's over. Oilers made it 3-3. I just still felt like Dallas was going to win that game. Oilers need to step on their throat one of these games. Like
they gotta put up a crooked number,
games.
stretch the lead out to 2 or 3, which is crazy though. In this whole playoffs as a whole, we've seen 3 and 4 goal leads evaporate pretty quickly. And you know what's crazy is I have that bracket from that we started from the West 100% to this time, and I have the Oilers beating the Stars in this round to get to the finals. I think I'm going to flop here. I think the Stars have looked like the best team in the Western Conference this whole playoff run. They're so deep. They have the goaltender. They've answered the adversity when it comes. They've won on the road. They've won at home. Backs against the wall dating back to the first round. I just think they're well-rounded. Good mix of youth and veteran presence. Everybody can score. Wyatt Johnson's just insane in the playoffs. I like them to win tonight, maybe take a 3-1 series lead going back to Dallas and end this one pretty early, unlike the East. Not too worried either way. If the Oilers can't figure it out at home, and like Mackie said, mimic the Eastern Conference series, get it 2-2 going back to Dallas, make it a best of 3. Not too worried. If you guys recall, I told you guys this the other day, on October 4th during one of our podcasts, 7:40 p.m., locked in 2 futures for the West, Oilers at plus 900 and Stars at plus 1,600. So as long as the West can take care of business, I'm not too worried about it, but I would like the Stars for that value, and I think they're the better team now. My bracket's dead with the Bruins. The West was great. I think the Stars have got the Oilers in this one. Mackie, you've said it all playoffs long. The goaltending woes are going to show up evident against a really good Dallas Stars team.
I'm not flopping yet. I think tonight. I think the Oilers take Game 4 tonight. But
if it goes 7, DeBoer is undefeated in 7. They have to win it in 6. Then you think they're going to?
And they got to win the next. They got to win the next 3 games. Yeah. Come on.
I think they'll win game. I still am taking the Oilers in 7.
This is a must win for the Edmonton Oilers. I'll tell you that.
I'm not jumping off the Oilers. I'm not jumping off the Oilers, and I'm not jumping off the Timberwolves. And you can't talk me off.
How many times do the Oilers have to do this? How many times do the Oilers have to do this? It's the same story every single year. McDavid's doing everything.
Mackie, I don't think this is. I don't think this is a shortfall if they lose this series, though. I think the Dallas Stars are primed.
When is it going to stop being the Oilers got this far? It's good enough. I mean, you have the 2 best players.
It's not good enough.
No, but you know hockey though. They don't have goalies though. It's this. But we're not talking. I know.
Last year, the Oilers got knocked out at home, and their fans clapped for them. Their fans sat there and clapped for them as they left the ice. Are you fucking kidding me? This team has the best player in the world.
You've said it though. But when you've talked when you made your point, I agree with you with the Stars. But when you talked about the Oilers, you literally said you were talking about Stuart Skinner is the reason that you can't have confidence going into this game.
But it's the same
old. You can't flip it on the. I know that with big sports,
flip it on what?
On the superstar, but it's hockey. It's much more of a team game than just 1 or 2 guys.
Well, can you imagine if Edmonton would have went out and got like a UC Saros at the
Linus Hallmark?
Anyone, dude. You have Skinner in that. You're flipping between Skinner, Jack Campbell. And
Skinner's an all-star.
I would have liked to see them go get Saros or Hallmark. That would have worked better.
I just can't understand how everybody.
I got the Stars in this series. 4-2.
I'm still going Oilers in 7. I think the offense. I think
4-2 Stars. Is
back on track. I like the
4-2 Stars. I think if the Oilers win this game, Stars win the next 2. I think if the Stars win this game, Oilers win next game, and then it's over in 6.
I'm still taking Oilers in 7.
There's no way you're taking this Oilers team to beat the Stars team 3 out of the next 4 games.
There's no way you're taking Peter DeBoer to lose in Game 7.
I'm going to take them to win Game 5 or win Game 4. I think they win Game 5 or 6. Like, I want to say they win Game 5, but I think they have a better chance of winning Game 6 at home.
They don't. I don't know. I cannot get behind. I've been saying it for 2 series. I cannot get behind this Oilers team. It's like rooting for the Sixers. It's like the same thing. Every year they think they're going to do something. They can't get out of the fucking second round.
I'm not a fan. Believe me, like I'm not losing sleep if McDavid doesn't win a cup. Like I just think they're a good team. I think it's like, I don't know. I think Dallas is really good. It's not like a confident pick. I'm gonna stick with my original pick. I have the Oilers. I had them going to the cup like Ace did. I'm gonna ride with my pick.
Darnell Nurse is making just shy of $10 million a year and has a -12 goal differential in the playoffs.
He has 0 points or 1 point.
Yeah, it's not good.
Let me run through these Stanley Cup odds here for the NHL. Leading the pack are the Stars there, plus 155. Panthers, plus 250. Rangers at plus 333. And the Oilers at plus 500 to round out the last 4 teams here in the Stanley Cup. Any thoughts on those?
Rangers fans, now's your time to buy back in, but Stars fans, I got you at 16-1. I'm locked in.
My
Yeah,
brother told me
that's
if
awesome.
Florida goes to the Cup, I have to fly down because he'll have tickets for Game 3. So
Yeah, my buddy went to game.
I might have to root for Florida.
My buddy went to game 3 and 4 for like less than $500.
Damn, really?
Is he one of those guys that got kicked out of
Did you
Sunrise?
see that?
Yeah.
That was funny. Wonder what he was doing.
Alrighty, and some other news in the NHL. Dan Bilesma has been hired as the head coach of the Seattle Kraken, as well as some other hirings here across the league. Scott Arniel has been hired as the coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Sheldon Keefe has been the head coach of the New Jersey Devils, and Jaromir Jagr has been hired as a member of the front office for the Pittsburgh Penguins to round out that list there. Any thoughts on some of these hirings? New head coaches, a couple across the league. Jagr just keeping his place in the NHL. Any thoughts?
I just think the Sheldon Keefe hiring is absolutely hilarious.
I like
can't wait
Sheldon
for the
Keefe to the Devils.
I think it's so funny how
Crazy.
NFL head coaching hires are like national news, and I did not know any of these three things happened.
I knew Sheldon Keefe was coming because the Spit and Chicklets boys dropped it before it was even a rumor. But he meshes well. Think about it. I mean, I know we had no playoff success with the Leafs, but at least he got that group going very well in the regular season. So maybe you can get the Devils to do the same because they look like shit this year. And that's a lot. It's too much
Just
talent.
such a joke,
It's too
yeah.
much offensive star power on the New Jersey Devils to be that bad.
I think the Devils are a cooler. I'd rather hate the Islanders. Like I can't stand the Islanders.
Well, the Islanders fans aren't as bad, dude. The Devils had one good season and beat us
But
in
the
7
Dials
games,
are
and then
also
they just
dust.
talk so much shit, and then
I'm
they
gonna
shit
get-
the bed this year with the same
gonna
roster.
catch-
Like, what the
I'm
fuck
gonna
are
catch
you
some
doing?
flack from Howie
Clearly,
Lemon
you're
if he
the better
hears
team.
this.
You're in the
but-
Eastern Conference Final, and they're not.
Yeah, but they think like they literally. You still see like their these like Devils accounts on Twitter. They're all just like hating on the Rangers games. I'm like, dude, you guys have been golfing for literally 2 months. But yeah, fuck the Devils for sure.
Alrighty, boys. That's about everything we have there for the NHL here. Eastern Western Conference Finals wrapping up here this week. So lots to look forward to as we get into the Stanley Cup Finals here and start seeing Lord Stanley show up at some of these games.
He was on McAfee today.
Saw that. That was sweet.
He was fucking with PK Subban. He called PK Subban into his show, and you know how PK Subban can't touch a cup or won't touch it. He's like, because I don't know.
What does he
the
think? He
skit
can
on
still get
ESPN. He was like, "What if I become a strength and conditioning coach?" Like, I don't know why he wouldn't touch it. But Messier was like chasing him around the TNT booth carrying it the one night. So it's like known that Subban won't touch it. So McAfee's sitting there with it on his desk, and he just has his hand on it like this. He goes, "Hey, look at this, PK." And PK Subban kept messing with him about the Pacers. He kept going, "Well, how about them Pacers, buddy?" And like, I don't even think Subban's a Celtics fan. I think he was just trying to chirp him about something. And McAfee has a Halliburton jersey hanging behind him because Halliburton always calls it or comes on his show. And Subban goes, "Get that trash jersey out of the picture. That thing's so ugly." Like starts chirping the jersey. And McAfee makes the jersey touch the cup. He goes, "Hey, what do you think of that, PK? Tyrese Halliburton touched the Stanley Cup before you did."
That's funny. Yeah, McAfee's a funny guy.
Alrighty, shifting focus over to the NBA here. The Boston Celtics completed the series sweep of the Indiana Pacers. Boston wins 2 big games where they trailed in both, in Indiana to secure a trip to the second NBA Finals in the past 3 seasons for the Boston Celtics. What are we thinking here out of this East Coast series between the Pacers and the Celtics here? Celtics taking the cake, heading to the finals. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, does their season start now? I said this the whole run. Mackey's going to be like, "Oh, injuries."
No, not at all.
Kristaps
Not at all.
Porzingis is injured.
I'm not going to
so is
say
everybody
injuries at
else's.
all. I'm just going to say one thing. The Pacers had a lead in that game with less than 2 minutes, or not even that game. 3 out of 4 of those games, they had a lead with less than 2 minutes left. First game, they were up 107-104 with 13 seconds left in the ball, and
Does
they
it
lost.
matter? It's like a preseason game. All these JV teams that are in
That
the
is
Eastern Conference that they've had
insane
to
because
play
they could
against.
easily
It could have
be a
been the
3-1
Knicks.
streak
It could have
lead
been
for
the
the
Bucks.
Pacers.
It could have been the Pacers, the Magic, the Cavs, the Heat.
Hey,
It's like the
you
G
didn't-
League teams come up to Boston to play to get their shit kicked in. Hey, it was kind of fun to play, wasn't it? We let you hang around, but we're still going to sweep you in your own building. Go home. Tyrese Halliburton scared to suit up in games 3 and 4. The Celtics do it without Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah, he should be ready for Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, wait, it's a joke of an Eastern Conference because all of the teams that you could have played suck. So we're going to rest him every game. Is he even going to play in game 1 of the finals? I don't know. Those teams probably suck too. So maybe game 4, when they're up 3-0, we'll get to see Kristaps Porzingis play again. Or maybe they're just waiting for next year when they run it back. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Long series against a good West team, probably. I think at some point they might have to face some adversity. But you could tell, even when their backs were against the wall against the Pacers, they looked like they were fine. It looked like a shoot around in the park. Whenever they wanted
did you
to
even
get
watch
going,
any of the games? I would not be surprised if you
every
watched
single Pacers. I watched every single Pacers game because
you cannot possibly say they're G
scores,
League teams.
The score was close, but did they ever look like they were in doubt? No.
Bro, they were down 3 with 13 seconds left in game 1. They were down 7 with 2 minutes left in game 3.
Did the Celtics composure ever change? No. And that's why they literally swept them. And you could just tell if there's a team like the Indiana Pacers, that's also why they're a G League team. You can't be a good team and turn the ball over 3 times with a 3-point lead and then give up a 3-point look to one of the best players in the league. That's just horrible. Terrible team, the Pacers. Kudos to them on a great playoff run and doing all that, set up for future success, but they're fucking bad. You know how great it is to see the Cavaliers and the Pacers back-to-back to get to the finals? Free as a fish. Are you kidding me?
But the Pacers, they're not bad. You won games 3 and 4 in Indiana by a total of 6 points, 3 in each.
Does it
matchup.
matter though?
Like Mackie,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These are G League teams.
They are. You can't make those mistakes. The mistakes the Pacers made to lose these games are not being talked about at all, and they were horrendous. Like
you almost lost 3 games to a G League team. Then you're saying,
but it doesn't.
I understand.
They didn't even have to try.
Great run. 12-2 run through the Eastern Conference. I get it. Mickey Mouse run. All the injuries and everything.
It's a cakewalk.
It's not trying. Who the fuck doesn't try in game in
the Celtics because they can
and
try with 13 seconds left and win.
Lose 3 games? Like that could have easily been a 3-1 Pacers.
But it wasn't. It was a 4-0 sweep in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right. I genuinely am convinced that you didn't watch a second of.
I watched every single one because they were good. They were fun to watch. But like, were you ever worried about the Celtics losing? Not really. I promise you. And it's so funny that the Pacers literally fumbled the bag multiple times. Like they just said, here you go, Celtics. Here's the game. We're going to step out of bounds twice in a row. And then we're going to give Jaylen Brown a wide open 3. And I loved how LeBron made his comment saying, I would always foul someone when you're up 3. I would have. You don't give Jaylen Brown that clean look. Maybe give anybody else.
Or you foul him. Foul him.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Well,
like,
the problem with
the line.
The problem with game 1 is that Siakam got to him late, and he didn't want to foul him in the.
Did you see him put his arm up and then he put it back down?
Put it up and then he put it back down.
They lost that series in that game right there because usually the Celtics had the day off, and the team that just went 7 games with a Knicks team that gave them a great series, right? They say whatever you want. We've already talked about that series. They just went 7. They're on a high streak. And they're rolling coming into Boston, and you're playing against the cold team, and you can't close it out. We should have known right there it was going to be a sweep. I mean, they literally played as best as they could with everybody healthy, and they still found a way to lose the game. Celtics didn't even play well, and they still beat this team. It's crazy.
Let me just say the exact numbers for these blown leads for the Pacers. 117 to 114 with the ball, 8.5 seconds left. They lost that game.
They had more time than that,
109 to 101 with 2:35 left. And the ball, they lost that game. 94 to 85 with 8 minutes left. They lost that game.
But what is all of this? This is just fodder that doesn't
94
matter.
to 85. If I was a Celtics fan, I wouldn't have even been worried about that.
I'll tell you the sweat.
It's the ones with under 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though. It's a 4-0 sweep though. I mean, are they going to get a real game? Hopefully in the next round, we'll see though.
I don't know. Those
I'd
are
watch what
really
you're asking for with either of these Western teams.
But it's crazy. They're literally missing their 7'3" player who averages over 20 points per game. They've been able to play without him.
He's
a big piece. He's the piece that we brought in to win these finals. If we had him, we might have been able to contest with that Curry team. Yeah, that's the piece that you were missing.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't watch.
He averages over 20 a game, and you should see how the Celtics team flows with him.
I wouldn't shit on.
I don't think he would make a difference. I don't think you would make much of a difference in whatever team you get against the finals, whether you get Cat and Gobert or Gafford and Lively.
I'll tell you this though: if you watch those games, Mac, we talk about watching those Pacer games. We saw Nembhard attacking, great series. That guy coming out party, especially in this ECF. But who is it against? Al Horford every time. If you have Porzingis on the floor, he's not doing that same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Nembhard had 32 points in that last.
And they attacked Al Horford every single time. You get Porzingis back in the mix.
No, you keep talking about Porzingis, but like Halliburton wasn't there for games 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's
within 6 points. combined 6
But
point. You guys
think
won by 6
about
points.
it's the NBA. This always happens. Think about all of the past.
Stop talking about Porzingis.
No, I'm just saying. I just had to throw it back at the people. I mean, he's a 20+ point per game player, and he's the only position that they were able to attack on offense was the void that he left. That's just my thought on that.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I just think that the series he's waiting to play, he's going to be coming back. Hopefully, he's healthy. I mean,
He should
he's
be,
waited
right?
much longer than he's needed to. At least everyone from all
If
the
they
reports
lost
and
one,
everyone-
do you think he would have played? Probably, right? Maybe.
I don't know what the
I truly don't think he
scenario.
would.
I think it's really stupid that they're just keeping him out this long. I think if he's healthy, then get him in there and get him in the system again.
Well, they
And
also
now
have
you
him
have to
under
wait 10
contract,
days to
Mackie.
get
They
the
also have
final.
him under contract next year, though. And we
You
can
guys
say
need
what
a
we want.
ring. You
We
need
can
a
say what we
ring.
want, though, but like we all knew that when we saw Cavs, when we saw Pacers, that they were going to win the series in 4, if not 5.
But it's all about like playing together as a team in different schemes. And
I
different
think it's more
offenses,
about keeping him
different
injury.
defenses.
I think it's more about keeping
Why
him
are you
healthy.
looking to next season when you guys haven't had a ring?
No,
since
but it's
2008? You
more
had
about
one
keeping
ring
him
in the
healthy
last
for the
40 years.
finals,
This is
though.
a
It's
team.
more about keeping him healthy for the finals because that was the one piece they were missing when they lost the finals
Right.
to the Warriors. And when they
Warriors.
lost these Eastern
other
Conference
argument-
finals, they brought in this exact guy. I know we got Drew Holiday for a bag of chips, but Porzingis was the guy. It's like we need a big. Like you remember they needed a big. It's like we got one now, and he's pretty good too.
Right, but
I
the other
arguably
side
think-
of the other side of that argument is that you guys are playing a completely different scheme with him out of the game. Like your offense is run differently. Your
I don't
defense
think it
is run
matters.
differently.
I
Now you
would
guys are gonna have
I
to
would have
switch
rested
against-
him. I would have
against your
rested
first
him.
competition. Against your first competition.
We
in the-
saw
in the-
we
in the
saw how
NBA Finals.
injuries
you drop a
decimated the New
game-
York Knicks. You would rather. I don't think they were worried about dropping one game, maybe even 2 to any of these bad
saying
teams
in
that
the
they had to play
finals,
on these runs.
If they have to readjust for the finals in game 1 and they drop game 1 at home, it's not an easy adjustment against Luka and the Mavs, or even in the Timberwolves and that defense over there.
That team's dead. We'll get to
I
that
think
one
so,
though.
No, they're not.
but I'm not going to count them.
But no, I would have. So put it this way: I ask you both. I would have rested Porzingis. Would you guys have rested Porzingis against the Indiana
I
Pacers?
think
no.
you better hope it works out because if not, it's going to be a rest versus rust thing. And he's now has 10 days till game 1 of the NBA Finals, June 6th, next Thursday. So he's definitely going to be healthy for game 6
I
or
also
game
don't
1.
know if
Is he going to play? We don't know. Like Mackie said, if he doesn't play, or if he does, I think it's even bigger point if he does play. If he plays and they purposely attack him, whether it's like I said, Cat and Gobert, or it's Lively who got injured and hasn't played in this series, he'll be back. I think it was just he got a knee to the back of the head. I don't know if he has a concussion or what, but or Lively and Gafford who have been a huge part of this Maverick series. Everyone wants to point the finger to the backcourt of the Mavericks. Gafford and Lively have had a huge series, and they're the reason that Cat and Gobert have had the struggles that they have. I think if you slide Porzingis in there and he struggles against those two guys, it's going to be. I don't know. Is he here?
Well, the good thing is you can turn to Al Horford. Like you have that in your back pocket. I
That's
think
not who
it's
I wanna
smart.
turn to
I
against
think
those
it's
guys.
no, but I think it's smart to just be able to rest your star in such a light series. I mean, it's crazy. We've never. When's the last time we saw a conference finals, East or West, that was so one sided?
Last time LeBron was on the Cavs, it
LeBron swept Toronto in the conference.
10 years ago now, right?
was 2016. It was 8 years ago.
Or you could talk about the Warriors in 2018. I mean,
But LeBron's
there's
LeBron's
been
best
cakewalks.
player ever. That's different. You know what I mean? Like
There's been cakewalks for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say it was a Mickey Mouse run, even though it was, because the Celtics are still the best team in the league. But I mean, they haven't been battle tested.
I'll wait. They got one more series. Their season starts now.
I think that
We can wait for Mackie to throw the flowers eventually, but we got to get through this one.
I think the Celtics win. I think the Celtics would beat either of these teams coming out of the West. I just am saying I think it would. I personally would rather see either of those teams win. For your sake, obviously, I am telling you, I think the Celtics have nothing to worry about. I just think there's a lot that can go wrong if. Not that a lot that can go wrong. You guys are the best team in the league. You have the best record. You got home court throughout the NBA Finals. I don't know. I just think that there's holes that like Luka or the Wolves are at least going to win 1 or 2 games. It's not going to be as easy of a series.
Yeah, it's not the Pacers or the Cavs or any
No,
of those.
but like, you're
I
acting like
think-
this is going to be a cakewalk. Like, give them the ring, fit them up now. Like, I think they win, but like,
We'll
it's
see.
not going to be as easy as you think.
I'll tell you what, though, it would have been a lose-lose situation because imagine what you guys were saying about Porzingis before, though. Imagine if he played and he got hurt in the Pacers series. You would have been like, stupidest franchise ever. You knew you were going to beat the Pacers. You got to sit him going to the finals. So I'm just happy we have him hopefully available for the
Well, if
finals.
you're gonna rush him back, then yeah, no. But if he's fully healthy, just sitting on your bench right now,
I don't think he is though.
Okay, then that's a different scenario. But you guys
Yeah.
are making it seem like he's just sitting out these series just to sit it out because they don't need him.
No, we're just assuming with time. They've been keeping it under wraps pretty well about his injury, actually.
The last sweep in the Eastern Conference Finals was in 2015 when the Cavs played the Hawks.
It's almost 10 years ago, yeah.
I think that the Celtics should
Lots of
win the next
forward
series, but I
We'll
think
talk about that when
they-
we get there. We got to see who gets there first. That's why we should talk about this Western Conference series, because this one is still alive, even though Mackie and I don't think so.
Is Jesse still here?
muted.
Your mic's off.
Yeah, I was here. Sorry, I was looking at something on my computer.
You're
good. Alrighty, lots of good stuff there, boys. Out of the East there, the Celtics making it to the finals. So we'll see what happens there. Moving over to the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves win a crucial Game 4 as Dallas led the series 3-0 heading into Game 4. Series now 3-1. Mavericks with the series heading back to Target Center in Minnesota for Game 5 on Thursday. Do these Timberwolves force a Game 6 in and win Game 5 on their home floor? What are we thinking here, Huff? You still have that future on the Timberwolves to win the West. What do you think?
I think this at least gets to a Game 6. I love the Timberwolves to come home. They now have the mojo. Obviously, Luka. No one's really talking about the fact that he had a 28-point triple-double in a loss in Game 4. Cat had a huge clutch time in the last 2 minutes of the game. Hit 3 huge threes. Wolves win the game by 5. They've been in every single one of these games. This has been a very close series. I like them to go home and win a game. They haven't won a game at home this series. I like them to go home and defend their home court. And I'm going to pick them to get out of here. It's never been done in the NBA, especially I think in the Western Conference Finals specifically. Teams that go up 3-0 or 16-0 all time. So it's never been done in the NBA. Come back from the 3-0 lead. I'm not saying they're going to come back from 3-0. I'm saying they're going to win Game 5. Ask me come Game 6. I like their chances to go win another one in Dallas, but it's going to be so hard to win 4 straight games. This team looks like they got their mojo back. They're going to have to, obviously, the injury to Lively has been really the reason they won that game. How long's he out in this series? I think that's a huge factor. A lot of people are overlooking that. Like I said, Lively and Gafford have had huge series, but everyone is recognizing what Luka and Kyrie have done. PJ Washington's been hit or miss in this series. I think the key factor is Lively and how many games he misses. Give me the Wolves to force at least a Game 6, and then we'll talk what would that be, Saturday?
Yeah, you know what? I saw a great quote from Kyrie Irving, and I was like, wow, that's such a Kyrie quote. But I'm like, I agree with you so much. Game 4 was their Super Bowl. Yeah. For them, it's just a ticking time bomb. I don't think this team gets reverse swept. I don't think it's ever happened in the NBA. I think it's like, what? It's really never happened. And however many series they've ever been. But yeah, I'd be surprised if the Wolves are able to scrape out one more. Kind of crazy to me that they barely scraped out Game 4. I mean, I know you guys were talking about the Celtics winning by a few points, and the Mavs haven't won by many cumulative points. But I don't think there's any chance they come back from that. Their shooting hasn't been on pace throughout the series. And this Kyrie and Luka to match up with a super team is just boiling. We need Kyrie versus the Celtics. Your boy Cat, I think their big series was beating the Nuggets. Your boy,
yeah,
Edwards, not Cat, my bad.
I'm gonna say the Mavs. I'll say Mavs in 6. I think the Timberwolves can steal another one at home. They're 4.5-point favorites or at home. It's the third highest. How do I word this? Third highest favorite after being down 3-0 and winning Game 4, and the other two have they won, like they cleared easy. I think the Timberwolves get it done here, but they're not going to win 4 in a row. There's no chance they're going to beat the Mavs 4 in a row. It's going to be 4 close games too, so I think it's going to be real tough. Luka's going to get the job done. Kyrie will get the job done. And I mean, he's good. He's doing it. I guess
Give
you
me
could say he's
Jalen
doing
Brunson.
his job. I don't
No,
know
I'm
if he's
just
even doing his job. Everyone else on the team's just playing really well. Cat had 4 threes
They're
yesterday.
a team, dude.
Yeah, but
the
Ant didn't play well in the first 3, and that was pretty monumental
Dude,
for them.
Ant
They were in every game.
No, but he
Ant-
didn't play like he was in the last series.
That's what I'm saying. They were in every game, and they were basically playing without the guy that everyone was watching the Timberwolves a lot.
They needed him to show up.
Ant was gassed up from the first series. I mean, so he didn't even play well that well last series.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Mackie. I think
He had a good series against the
I think
Nuggets.
that series is so big, beating the defending champs. It took a lot out of them, and by the time it was 3-0, they're like, "Oh shit, now we got a fucking claw." Right now,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you can't
One
count
game
them
at a
out,
time.
but yeah.
One game at a time. I'm not counting them out.
Did
The
you take?
lowest
Did you
odds
take
also
them?
ever
Huff,
for a
did
team
you
down
take them?
3-0
Did you take them down
I
3-0?
I'm plus 750. It was I didn't plus or down 3-0 is only plus 1,000.
Oh
I already
shit!
have I already have plus 750.
Only plus
Plus
1,000.
1,000 is the lowest odds for a team down 3-0 ever in NBA history. And now it's 450 3-1.
Wow, that's lame. Can't even get in on the action.
Yeah.
No, there's
So I'm
no
back
way
to-
that those are lower odds than the Celtics being down 3-0 to Miami. There's just no chance. Celtics were a 1 seed.
Plus 1,000? Let me see if I can find that. What year was that?
2020.
2 years ago.
No, because that was when they lost the finals to the Warriors.
Yeah, it was 2023.
2021. Was it last year?
Yeah, I think it might have been last year. I think it was last year.
Huff alluded to it already here, but let me run through these NBA Finals odds here for you guys. Celtics are the clear leaders here at minus 225, Mavs at plus 240, Timberwolves at plus 1,200.
What
Is
was the
there
Celtics?
value anywhere?
20?
Yeah.
Minus 225.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Mackie,
Was
you
it?
remember during the season, every time I'd give you the update and I'd tell you I'd throw like $25 on, I'd be like, they're plus 195, best we're gonna see. So I'm happy I threw it.
You're right. Yeah. What was what would you say the odds were on the Mavs?
Mavs are plus 240.
I don't think that's good enough.
I mean, they're gonna be less than that when they make the finals, so I think there's decent value on it, but I don't think you should take it. If you're gonna take any team, it's the Mavs.
Yeah, I went Huff to find this because I'm curious.
I can't find it. It's just like telling me all the teams that have come back.
Yeah, Mackie, I agree with you. They might have had better odds.
I mean, the Celtics were minus 8.5 in game 5 after being down 3-0, and they won game 4. They're minus 8.5 at home in game 5.
Also, having the home court for Minnesota is huge. This just one game at a time. Go win your home game at game 5.
Huff's the
And you
only
can have
believer.
things.
Hopefully, the next time you guys hear from us, that we're still talking about this series.
I was the only believer last year against the Nuggets. Like, I'm not jumping
But
off
they were
this
up
team. I said
2-0.
that.
They weren't down
Yeah,
0-3.
And I'm not jumping ship. They got the momentum back. They're the team on the win streak now. Get another one.
yeah, we'll see.
They're close games. Like, dude, you look at games 1 through 3. If Cat or Anthony Edwards showed up, you got to think they at least win. I think they win 2 of games
You're
1
right.
through 3. If
But
Cat or Anthony
they
Edwards,
didn't.
showed up.
You're right.
But
Exactly.
they didn't. I
But they
believe it.
didn't.
I'm not making
Yeah.
excuses
So
for them.
now they have to win 4 straight close.
So then
games.
what happened in game 4?
What do you mean? They won a close game.
And they both showed up.
Right. Now they have to win 4 straight close games.
I don't. They don't all have to be close, but
They're
like,
gonna all be close. Every single game has been close. All 4 games have been close so far.
no, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying like they don't have to be. But I think they handle business in game 5 on their home floor. I think they come out hard. I think they come out super fast to a quick lead. I love them first quarter minus 1.5. Give that a little pick out now. That's the line for the first quarter. I'm going to be taking that as well as the Timberwolves minus 4.5. I think they handle business. I think the injury of Derek Lively is massive. No one is talking about that for Dallas.
Alrighty, boys. That's about everything we have in the MLB and everything we got here for this week. You guys have anything else to add before we get on out of here?
I think that is it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Playoffs are heating up.
Yeah, NHL playoffs are rolling. NBA playoffs are rolling. We're almost into the finals in each of those leagues. So lots to look forward to as we keep moving through there. That's all I got here this week. Make sure to stay tuned for our live streams as well as our picks posted on social media each and every day. But that's all I got. Thanks for showing up. See you next
Yep.
time.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
The Dodgers.